Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm talking about what it's like to live as a single guy in Lagos, Nigeria. Before the age of 23, I moved out of my parents' house, after leaving school, NYSC, and then I moved out. And ever since then, I've lived alone. I don't have a 9 to 5. All my work is done on my laptop. This video is just going to tell you about some of the things that I've encountered and, just basically talking about living alone in Lagos. The first thing I'm going to say is that you need to have some solid reasons for you choosing to live alone. Now, some people don't like to live alone. They prefer to live with other people. Me, I love living alone. I like my solitude. I like my quietness. If you're considering moving out or if you're about to, I'm going to tell you, moving out is like one of the most liberating experiences you're going to have. There's really nothing like it. You begin to experience life for real, what it's like to live. It's not like university, totally different experience from living in university. It's totally different experience from, anything you've experienced so far. It's just totally different. The next thing to consider, if you're about moving out is how much money do you have saved up or how much do you have to do this? I moved out without any financial assistance. My parents didn't give me money for this. I had money already set up for moving out. And I guess because I had, some money at the time, I moved straight from my parents' house into a serviced apartment, which is not really a wise decision, looking back at it now. And so if you're in that position right now and you're thinking of probably you just happen to have some amount of money or your parents are, financially capable enough to help you out, it's a gamble, right? It could turn out good for you, moving into a serviced apartment or just getting your own place. Knowing what I know now, I'll probably just go for my own place and, be able to furnish it out. Because it's service, I don't have to bother with, things like lights, water. But if I had my own place, I could easily take care of the water stuff, take care of the power stuff, just like get an inverter or something. But then I still have to deal with the security. So it's still a choice that you have to make between serviced apartment and getting an apartment for yourself. And the way apartments work in Lagos is that most of them you have to pay for a year upfront or 2 years. The landlord is not going to hear any stories like that. That's what everybody is facing. You have to pay for a year or 2 years depending on where you get your house. So that's just something you have to deal with. So you need to have money prepared to make that move. Now, in no means am I a rich kid. I'm not able to drive expensive sports cars or do crazy stuff like that. But, I was reading this study the other day of pay grades in Nigeria, and I'm pretty, should I say, good with where I am. I still want more, don't get me wrong, but if we're checking different salary grades of different people, I'm nowhere at the bottom level, and I'm really grateful to God for that. But I was able to do that and moved out of my parents' house into a serviced apartment. But if you're considering doing it, I would think of doing it another way. Just get your own place so you can take care of everything. Another thing that I noticed when I moved out is that, the kind of people around where I stay, or before I even talk about that, I'm going to talk about the reasons. So you need to have strong reasons why you want to move out. Now, a lot of people don't have strong reasons why they want to move out. They just want to move out because they want freedom. They just want freedom. They just want being able to go out every time of the night, go for parties. So some people, that's all just what they want, and they want the ability to call girls over and do stuff like that. That's why some people move out. Honestly, that's why they move out. But you really need to consider your reasons for moving out. I had very strong reasons for moving out. The first reason was because, if you know anything about Lagos, there's Lagos Island and then there's Lagos Mainland. Now, my parents stay far inside Lagos Mainland. And for those of you that don't know, I also speak at events. And sometimes these events that I attend or that I speak at, most of them happen on the island. And so I have to commute from the mainland at the island at different times of the day. And so it's really not comfortable. The traffic, I'm going to talk about the traffic, right? But the cost of transportation, gets pretty high. And so I was like, why don't I just get a place closer to the island so that I can get to my events on time. And even if I close very late, I can just easily get back home. So that was the main thing that influenced my decision. What's it like just living alone? Like I said, I love living alone. And then the fact that I don't work a 9 to 5 means I don't get to experience traffic. Now, if you've lived in Lagos for a while, you know that everybody in Lagos knows about the traffic. The traffic is so frustrating, and there's some days I just wake up and thank God that I don't have to be part of that traffic, because I honestly wonder how some people do it. Like, I see what they do, I see what they go through every single day, and I'm like, man, gosh, people are really having it tough, So I really don't know how they cope with that traffic. Sometimes I just go out to get something small and then I'm stuck in traffic. I'm like, wow. But some people have to do this every single day. I really don't know how they survive that. So that traffic is crazy. But then moving out, I really got to have a deeper feel of what it's like to live alone. And then the networks that I've built, or the access to the people, especially around where I live now, especially the kind of area where I live, most of the people that I live around are either into tech, most developers, young millennials who are actually, they're comfortable, they're making money. And so your discussions, your mind level is elevated. And so that's another big advantage of moving. This also ties to where you're moving to. Where you're moving to is very, very important. The areas where I stay now, and even like the workspaces I use and the offices I use, they're around people that are talking futuristic stuff and just talking about big stuff. You can't afford to be a small player when you're around this kind of people. So that's just an advantage I noticed. This one ties into the kind of area that you move into. So that has been very, very helpful to me. And then these people around me have made me understand that the way I see money right now, money, like my mindset about money just changed. I mean, it has changed a lot before I even moved out, but right now the way I see money in my head, money is just about numbers, right? If you tell me, let's say you quote something is 1 million for me, and tell somebody else something is 1 million, I really don't see it like the way the normal person sees it. The normal person will see 1 million and think, oh wow, 1 million, how can I raise such a money? Like, wow. But you tell me 1 million and I just break it down in my head. I just have to sell something worth 10,000 to 100 people and that's 1 million. Or I have to sell something worth 20,000 to 50 people and that's 1 million, right? So that changed my mindset, and that was just by the kind of environment where I operate in. So it's very, very important that you're not just moving out and you're moving somewhere else. You're moving out and you're moving to an environment that is really going to help you elevate your mind and elevate your thoughts. The next point I want to state here is that you begin to appreciate the little things that you missed when staying at home. Or don't get me wrong, moving out to school, but then you begin to appreciate things like food. I mean, food can get pretty expensive. There are some weeks where I spend nothing less than 20k or even more than 20k like on food just in a week, and that money really adds up. I mean, if I was staying at home, I won't be spending at all on food. Probably I'll just be pulling out some money once in a while to support, but I won't be spending like the kind of money I spend on food where I stay. I mean, my mom makes great stuff, so why move out? But that's just one of the things that you face. Food is a very, very, very big consumer of money. You notice this, like it becomes very, very visible, very obvious once you move out, right? There's some people where I stay that I've never seen them cook food. I had to learn how to cook food. Right now I'm pretty good. But some people where I stay, I've never seen them cook food, honestly. Like, they buy everything that they eat. I'm like, how are these people surviving? But man, I don't know. All I can say is that I had to learn how to cook, and I just had to learn how to take a closer look at those little things. Those little things began to make a lot of sense to me, and so I'm very careful about how I manage money. I'm very careful about a lot of things, even though I know that money right now is something that is just a matter of numbers, and you doing some work and you get money, but I still have to be careful. I still have to be cautious about how I spend money. And so all that has just been as a result of moving out. Has really helped me a lot. Basically, what I'm just trying to say is that if you're planning to move out, know that you're moving into a different form of life. It's like you've become an adult. Like, you're just an adult right now, and it changes a lot of things. I didn't really talk about specifically how I moved out, because having that conversation at first with my parents was a bit odd. I had to tell my mom first because I really didn't know how to approach my dad on the matter and tell him, okay, look, Dad, I'm moving out. You know, I didn't know how to tell him that I was moving out. In fact, I didn't even tell my mom till I found the place, and I was just telling her like, look, I'm about to move out. I found this place and I'm moving out. And she had to tell my dad for me that I was moving out, you know. But apart from that uncomfortable situation at the beginning, you know, every other thing has just been cool. It's just been fun. Trust me, moving out is a great experience. And even if you're not ready to do it right now, I mean, it's something you should think about doing. Trust me, it's really going to help you. And then don't forget, where you move to actually matters a lot, right? Where you move to, the crowd that you move around. Don't move out of your parents' house and then you just think, oh, I'm now free. You just want to start smoking and drinking and parties all the way. That's the fastest way to die, or something bad is just going to happen to you. So move, but still retain your senses, right? Retain your senses. So that's what I'm going to say about, you know, life in Lagos as a single guy who moved out of his parents' home. Life has been fun, life has been great, and all I can hope for are better things in the future. So if you like this video, do make sure to like it, do make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you get notified once I make a new video. That's the only way YouTube is going to let you know once I post a new video. So make sure you do those three things: you like, you subscribe, and you hit the notification bell so that you get notified once a new video is on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.